It is Tuesday, June 2nd. I hope I'm finding you well and reasonably happy. I'm looking forward to the day. We have a dreary day out there and it's going to be chilly. I'm wearing my Paloma sweater because it's going to be a little bit chilly. Dennis said around the time we would take the girls for a walk, it's going to be like 68 degrees. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just be cozy. I don't have any big plans for today. Well, I do. I got my craft room set up to sew in, and I fixed one pair of shorts. Yay! They look okay. I mean, I don't think when I go to the park, I don't think anybody looking at me is going to say, oh man, she altered those shorts and they look terrible. But they don't look great, you know. I mean, because I'm changing sizes quite a bit. These particular shorts were a size 20, and so I'm taking them down to about a 12. So that was a lot of, you know, reduction in size. And I wanted to keep the pockets. So what I ended up doing was I ended up taking in 3.5 inches on each side, but I took it from the back panel of the leg and butt and left the, you know, jeansy seam, whatever that's called, the flat fell seam. And I took it from beside that on the back. So I still have pockets, but my side seams now are a little bit around the back of my, you know, more toward the back of my leg than just down the sides, the center sides. And that worked out fine. I still had to take a little bit in the waist and the back, and then I had to take it down the butt because I had this sort of pokey outy part that didn't look good. But it worked really well. The problem is that the rise on these is higher than than I need because it just takes more fabric on a size 20. And so I am going to cut the waistband in half. The waistband is about this big, and I'm going to cut it down about 1 inch. And I think that'll be okay. And I looked at the waistband, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it so it looked good. And then I decided it doesn't have to look good. I never tuck in anything. I'm just going to cut it off and zigzag it. Call it a day. I already took out almost all the belt loops in my alterations, so that'll be all belt loops gone, but I don't wear belts. I would wear belts if I had a belt. I don't have a belt. I bought a couple belts at a consignment shop, but they're a little bit too small for me in pants, where my pants. Anyway, I don't wear belts with my shorts, so I just, and everything I wear goes over, so it's not going to matter. But anyway, I fixed a pair of shorts yesterday. You don't care about all the details. But so I have 2 more pairs of shorts, one of which I think is probably not going to work, just because of, these are shorts, the fabric is very stretchy. They're not tight, but the fabric is actually really stretchy, which worked out good, because when I used to wear them, the zipper would always come down. So I sewed the zipper closed, and I just pulled them up and down because they were stretchy enough that they could do that, even though they weren't designed that way. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'll try. What the heck. These shorts I did are kind of a peachy orangey color. And I found thread that matched it. I was really shocked in my thread supply. I don't know if I told you this, but I also found 2 dresses that I'm going to alter. And one of them is a dress that I've been looking for really on ThreadUp, and I forgot that I had this dress, but I was looking for exactly this style on ThreadUp and wasn't finding it. So hopefully I can alter it, and that'll be that. I'll have dresses. We'll see. I took before pictures of the dresses, so after I do them, I'll show you. I took a before and after of the shorts too. And I'll try to put them up here. I don't like to do a lot of editing on this, but 5 minutes in. So, because I don't even listen to these half the time. I just make sure that I can hear myself, and then I just save them and do them. So 5 minutes in, I'll put in some pictures of my one after the other, because I can't put 2 at a time. I thought I could do that in my podcast, and I couldn't. I never figured out how to do that. But anyway, so today I think I'm going to be upstairs working on, the girls are playing in here, and it's wiggling the camera. 200-pound dog running around. Wiggles the camera. And now they're outside. I don't know if you can see them. Anyway. So Sarah mentioned after my podcast that wanted to know if I would be interested in doing a l'envelope knit-along. This is this interesting capelet thing that I made many years ago. This is copyrighted in 2014. It was, you know, mine did not turn out quite so successful, but this is by Sally Melville. And it reminds me, now that I look at it, it reminds me a little bit of the Katniss cowl after Hunger Games. But it's really interesting. It's, you know, it's an interesting design. And it's kind of, she has it in two different, that's what the thing looks like. Oh, and I guess that's what it looks like when you knit it. All right, it's the folding of it that makes it interesting, and then you do pick up some stitches for the arm. But anyway, she does it both in garter stitch and in seed stitch, and I did it in garter stitch. I had a lot of trouble. This was when I was a new knitter. Trouble figuring out how to count the rows. I was a new knitter. Which could explain why my gauge was so whacked. But also, this calls for a worsted weight yarn. So 13 stitch gauge. 13 to 16. She had the different sizes depending on your gauge. And 13 to 16 stitches per 4 inches. So that's worsted weight. The yarn she used is listed at the end, but I'm pretty sure she, half these yarns are no longer available. Oh, on one she used an Aran tweed. And this is 197 yards for 100 grams for a 15 stitch gauge. 240 yards for 100 grams for a 16-inch gauge. Yeah. So 200 yards for 100 grams. It's like worsted, right? Anyway, I didn't use worsted. I got terrible gauge, but I'm thinking, so anyway, so I think I'm going to do a knit along. If anybody wants to make the l'envelope with me and Sarah, and I think I'm going to do mine in seed stitch, because it's either garter or seed stitch, and I like the look of seed stitch. I just have to figure it. I really like this in red, but she's wearing it over black leather. I mean, she looks pretty kick-ass, but I need to look at my wardrobe and think about what would I wear it with and what color do I want to do. And I don't think I have enough worsted in my stash. I might have to actually buy yarn for this. So for my size, this is between 560 and 740 yards, depending on my gauge. Anyway, phone's ringing. Oh, anyway, I guess we're going to do a knit along of a envelope if you want to join. And starting now, I'm starting it now, if you know, because there may be other people who saw it on the podcast and thought, oh, that's cool, let me try that. So June 1st to, I don't even know. I don't have any details. I don't even know if there'll be prizes or anything. But if you were interested in the envelope, Sarah and I are going to be knitting one as soon as I figure out what yarn I want to do. All right, so here's my sea salt. And Dawn turned me on to the podcast between the Yarn Hoarder and I Rock Knits, Corey Eichenberger and Amber Linneman, where they MacGyver a sweater of Amber's that doesn't sit on her shoulders because it's too big. And she basically runs a piece of yarn along, you know, wherever you can do it to hide it. And I'm doing it in my pickup seam and then tightens it up that way. So that's what I did. And right now it's temporary. I started about here, put it in, went all the way around to about here. Because I like the neckline in the front. Although someone said that they do that often and they they tie it in a knot, so in a bow, so they can adjust it whenever they want to. So obviously they're putting it all the way around in their neckline. But, and I thought maybe I'd go back and do that. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, there's my girl. What do you want? Yeah, you want to cuddle? That I really do like the front neckline, and I don't want to change that. But I put in a temporary one, and, well, yeah. It's not a temporary yarn. I think I'm going to keep the yarn, but, you know, I tied it in a temporary way and wore it, and it seemed to be really working. So now what I have to do is figure out how to anchor it in a way that it will work. And I'm thinking maybe of running it through a little button and just having a tiny little, you know, like a shirt button here on both sides. And, you know, in a way that if it stretches or whatever, I don't even know. But thank you so much, Dawn, for the suggestion. And I got some other great suggestions. Run elastic through it. Wear a black bra and let the strap be part of the outfit, which I thought was a fine idea, except I don't own a black bra. And anyway, so I did that temporarily, and until it slipped a little bit, it worked great. I don't know if you watched that podcast, but I was fussing with that sweater the whole time, and it drove me crazy. So I am going to figure out how to do this permanently, and then I'll wear it on the blog, and you will see how much better it is. And that meant I had to wear a bra all day, so I could see if my strap showed. I did it for my art. Anyway. So I'm going to be working in my room today, doing some alterations. I'm pretty happy with how the shorts turned out. I wore them last night, even though it was chilly, after I fixed them. So I'm going to cut the waistband down because it was kind of uncomfortably high, and call them done. That's what I'm going to do, and work on the next ones. The next ones have a lot more going on with pockets everywhere and stuff, and I'm not sure, you know, and I mean, I had to take that waistband in 7 or 8 inches in the end, which is a lot to, I mean, it just really wreaks havoc with the design of the pants. I love having pockets, so I want to do something that doesn't mess that up. So it will be interesting to see what I come up with. The stretchy ones don't have really usable pockets, so don't have to worry about those. But I took that 3.5 inches all the way down the leg. Yeah, and that worked pretty well. So that felt good to do that. That felt good to do that. And if I can get these dresses to look good. Well, the one, it's just a sort of tank. It's a woven fabric, but you put it over your head. So I do have to be careful not to take it in to make it too close fitting, because my waist is significantly smaller than my shoulders. So I won't, if I like make it, you know, sort of form fitting and then it flares out to a A-line skirt. If I make it too close to my hips, I'm not gonna, or my waist, I'm not gonna be able to get it over my shoulders. So I have to be careful. It's not gonna be tight. It's still gonna be loose, which is good anyway, because I think it's like probably polyester or something, you know, so I don't want it too close in the summertime. I'll be sweaty. Whatever, I'll show you when I do it. But I'll try to remember to put those pictures in here. So that's what's going on with me. I had a pretty good day. I did not end up working on my toupee at all. This is what happens with me. You know, now I'm on a spot. I got to pick up stitches. I got to think about it. You know, it's not that big of a deal. I got to pick up stitches here. I've got to cast on stitches to go across the back neck and pick up stitches here and then just go. She says to use a backwards loop cast on. I find backwards loop cast-ons to be very hard to knit through in that first time you go back to knit through those cast-on stitches. I hate that cast-on. So I'm going to figure out how I can do this using a knitted cast-on or a cable cast-on, because I do not. And it's going to be like 40 stitches or something. I hate that. So I have to think about it a little bit. And apparently yesterday I didn't want to think about it. So I just kept working on my bralette, which is nice. So I have a little mindless knitting that I can work on. And, you know, that bralette, I have another inch or two, I think. And then it's time for me to make my triangles and make my straps. And I do think I'm going to make the straps thicker so that it's more, they are more tank toppy and less, you know, spaghetti strap. I'm not at the point in my life where spaghetti straps make any sense. So, you know, you get to do your own thing in your own knitting, right? So that's it for me. Dennis has run to the store. We have a small health food store where he gets his milk to make yogurt. He makes yogurt. And so he's going to make more yogurt. Oh, I forgot. He put the flag up yesterday. I forgot that. I knew there was something I was going to talk to you about and then I forgot. He went over to put the flag up yesterday because the flag came. And so his mother, you know, his mother's not feeling great. His dad was not feeling good at all. But yeah, come over. I don't know if dad can help or not, his mother says. So he went over there. But of course, his dad would never in a million years let anyone do that without his supervision. Gave him a hard time. His dad's a bit of a pill. I mean, we went over there, and this is a couple years now. Went over there to trim some trees. They had all these limbs that they wanted, you know, their tree. They're very precise about their yard. They're lucky their development. They live in a mobile home development. They're the first house. When you come up the street, you come up the hill and you're looking at their house, and they keep that house so beautiful. It is, you know, the mobile home park they live in is very lucky to have them as the first house because they, you know, they keep it immaculate and their yard looks great, and it drives them crazy because now they can't, of course, do most of it, although they found somebody this spring to come and do the hard work, and now they're just, you know, picking a weed here and there. My mother-in-law loves to weed, but it's getting harder and harder for her. She's 89. So anyway, so his father's not feeling well, but he's supervising anyway, can barely walk now. He's 103 in 2 weeks. So Oh, so we went over there a few years ago to do these trees, and there were like 3 trees where they wanted the branches to be cut out off of, you know. So Dennis and his mother's showing him on this tree, we want this and this and this and this. His father comes out, no, do the tree in the front first. Well, we're here, we're talking about it, we already know what to do. Do the tree in the front first. So if it's not his way, it's wrong, you know. So do the tree in the front first, then they come back and do what they were discussing 5 minutes, you know, 10 minutes before. So that's how his father is. You know, he has it in his mind how it needs to be done, and it has to be done that way, because if it's not done that way, it's wrong. So yeah, now they have the flagpole, and now they've got to rope the flagpole correctly so that they can raise the flag. And but the part that had the cleat at the bottom is gone, so they have to put a new cleat. So Dennis goes to put the cleat in the flagpole. Oh, no, put the flag up first. Put the flag up. This is his father. Dennis is like, no, we need to put the cleat in first. It doesn't make any sense to put the flag. Put the flag up first. Dennis is like, no. Apparently. Well, I don't think he said no. He just kept putting the cleat in. It was like, you know, his father was not happy. But they got the flag up, and I should have told him to take a picture of it. Next time I go over there, we're going to go over there pretty soon. I'll take a picture of their flagpole so you can see it. It's not as tall as it was before, but Dennis says it's tall enough. He's like, he comes up. You know, he doesn't get along great with his dad. I mean, they get along fine, but his dad drives him crazy. Anyway, oh, and I got a call from my dad today. He said, I'm having a meeting with the CEO of the company who runs his place. And they have, I think he said 8 of these. Harmony is the company that runs this. And they apparently are building 11 more. So this is a growing company. Of course, this, you know, assisted living is, I'm sure, a booming industry. And so anyway, what should I ask him? So we had a very nice conversation. I told him that he should ask him what the plan is for, you know, now they're opening up a little bit in Center County where they live. And, you know, but what is Harmony's plan for keeping things tight between, because there's going to be a second wave of this epidemic. That's how this pandemic, that's how pandemics work. There'll be a second wave. And, you know, what are they going to do in between and to make sure that they're ready for the second wave? Because when it comes, it's, you know, in the Spanish flu, the second wave hit harder than the first wave did. So anyway, but I had a nice conversation with my dad. And they're doing well. They're getting tested on Thursday. They're happy about that. Me too. So I guess I'll say goodbye. I think I've talked too long now because since I stopped for the phone call, I don't know how long this is, but it's probably pretty long. So I will say, stay well. Please stay safe and well. And I hope you have a good day. Stay safe and stay sane.